Well, thanks for joining us at 5 on this Sunday evening. I'm John Adams. Right now it's 40 degrees in the Rose City, and those warmer temps really putting a dent in that stubborn ice across much of the Portland metro. But some parts of the area still had to deal with that threat of freezing rain yet again today. Let's check in with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. Hey, Joe, what are things looking like to start the week here?
Hey, John, we're going to be seeing a bit of a warm up heading into your work week. We have an upper level low that's going to be ushering in more of a southerly flow. I talked about this last night, so that just means warmer temperatures. I'm forecasting highs for the first time in the last couple of weeks, right around 50 degrees heading into tomorrow. But again, you're talking about the places that are going to be dealing with the ice. That's still going to be throughout the Columbia River Gorge. Ice storm warning still in effect tonight until tomorrow morning. Things will kind of gradually improve. So here's a look at the hour-by-hour forecast again. Temperatures are relatively mild this afternoon along the Oregon coast, right around 50 degrees. I haven't stopped here early tomorrow morning, right around the morning commute, 5:30, 6 o'clock. This model is showing down in the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley. It's going to be wet, but very mild start to your Monday with temperatures out of the 8 right around 50 degrees. Very mild in that section of I-5. Meanwhile, the metro area, it's going to be a little bit before we kind of shake that cold air out of here. That cold air is very dense, so it takes a little bit for it to move out of here, which we have been experiencing the entire weekend. Although today we saw temperatures here in downtown Portland above freezing, well above that, but also right around 40 degrees. But you'll notice Hood River tomorrow morning just above freezing. Over Mount Hood, you're going to be dealing with a little bit of some light snow showers with some freezing rain late tonight and into tomorrow as well. Regardless, we are still going to be seeing mild conditions the next couple of days. It's just going to be wet a good part of your work week, and we've already been seeing some wet conditions out there here the last 24 hours. Over a third of an inch of rain has fallen at northeast Portland at the Portland International Airport. Half of an inch of rain over in Troutdale on the Hood River. You've seen a combination of some freezing rain and some rain, but again, by tomorrow afternoon, things will gradually improve through that section of I-84. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast and let you know just how much rain is in the forecast over the next few days. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, the ice is melting and the ground is thawing, and that means bursting pipes are a concern. Well, this next video from the former Multnomah County Courthouse in downtown Portland this afternoon, where there was a reported water problem. And as you can see, the streets were blocked off while crews came in to help out. The county sold the former courthouse in 2018 to a private company and moved out in 2020. Well, restaurants and bars forced to shut down during the storms are pressuring Oregon leaders to help them recover. They say it's time for city and state leaders to acknowledge that extreme weather events are not rare. Well, this weekend they sent a letter detailing their demands. Our Sydney Dorner tells us what they're asking for.
Some of their asks include working with utility companies to reduce power outages and creating a relief fund for restaurants with less than 100 employees. Right now, they estimate about 60% of Western Oregon restaurants are in danger of failing. Ice from the winter storm is melting across the Portland area, but restaurants and bars are still stuck in a rut. They say without help from the state and city, their food carts, bars, and restaurants may have to close.
We're still coming off a lot of the challenges of the pandemic. I can say that for this restaurant specifically, we're still not doing the level of business that we were doing in 2019 pre-pandemic. And despite the fact that we have lower revenue, we have rising costs, we have a lot of things sort of working against us.
Restaurants and bars across the state presented 5 ways in which the state and city can help them, stating each dollar spent in an Oregon restaurant puts $2 in the state's economy.
There are plenty of places across the United States where snow, ice, these things happen, and the city, the local government is able to respond, and people are able to stay safe, and people are able still to go about their daily lives, and that's just not the case here.
Some of their demands include more snowplows and salt on the roads, placing a moratorium on commercial evictions for 3 months, and improved response times to outages.
When we lose business, $75,000 of business, that means that we're not buying beer, wine, we're not supporting our local farmers. Everybody is feeling the impact.
Restaurants and bars say after COVID reduced consumer spending and inflation, they just can't afford the hit from the storm. They say if leaders don't act quickly, they just might sink. Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
Well, Oregonians and folks in Southwest Washington are dealing with destruction, power outages, and spoiled food. But if you're a SNAP recipient and you had to throw away food, you can have it replaced, but you have to act fast. You have 10 days to request replacement benefits from the Oregon Department of Human Services. You have to contact ODS by email, phone, mail, or in person. Users will be asked to submit a list of the food that was lost and the estimated cost of each.
Well, we know that so many Oregonians are facing crisis right now, and when you're already facing food insecurity, additional disruptions like this can be really demoralizing. And we want people to know that you don't have to go it alone. These systems and structures are in place to support you, and we really encourage people to reach out and get these replacement benefits.
Reimbursements will be added to the current EBT card once processed and can't exceed the user's regular monthly allotment. Be aware, though, it will take some time for those benefits to process. If you're facing immediate needs, you can call 211 or visit the Food Finder tool at the Oregon Food Bank website. Well, it's been a very long week plus for first responders and emergency departments at local hospitals. Multnomah County health officials say that from Wednesday through Friday, there were more than 500 emergency calls placed to 911 each day, including a record 578 calls on Friday. That number dropped to 440 yesterday. More than 1,000 people have been injured from falls in the past week alone. That includes more than 200 people that showed up at ERs and urgent care centers on Friday and again yesterday. There have been at least 10 storm-related deaths across Portland Metro, resulting from suspected hypothermia, fallen trees, and electrocution from downed power lines. County officials say a guest staying at an overflow shelter in Gresham died after they collapsed yesterday, but it's unknown if their death was weather-related. Well, PGE has made significant progress in restoring power in the past 36 hours. Just over 500 customers are without power tonight. That's down from about 1,600 this morning. Over the past week, they say they've addressed power outages affecting around 300,000 households. And good news in Clark County, you're down to one outage now after the final handful were cleared today. Elsewhere in Western Oregon, Pacific Power is down to just 24 customers without power after having more than 10,000 just a few days ago. However, the hard-hit Eugene area is still dealing with widespread outages with more than 2,600 eWeb customers without power tonight. There's also been major progress in getting transit back up and running today. All storm-related disruptions on MAX lines have now been cleared. However, yellow and orange lines are seeing delays today due to an operator shortage, and the better red closures are in effect through March the 4th, meaning no red line service at all, except for shuttle buses between Gateway Transit Center and PDX. Shuttles are also running in place of the blue and green line trains through Northeast Portland. Also, all streetcar service is back online. However, Amtrak trains between Portland and Seattle are not running due to a landslide near Kelso. Amtrak now says that won't be cleared until Tuesday at the earliest. And an update now on school closures. So far, we've received word from the Corbett School District and Rockwood Preparatory Academy that they will not have school tomorrow. The Mount Pleasant School District in the Gorge will also be closed all week due to water issues and storm damage. Skamania schools will start 2 hours late tomorrow. Meantime, the Tigard, Tualatin, and Beaverton confirmed that schools will be back open on a normal schedule tomorrow. We're awaiting word from Portland Public Schools and other districts on their plans. Well, coming up tonight at 5, a big shakeup just 2 days ahead of the New Hampshire Republican primary. Who's still standing in that once crowded race? And President Biden says he's taking on costly bank overdraft fees, but can he really cap them at just $3? We verify coming up next.